Sekiro, meaning the one-armed wolf. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a new action-adventure game being developed by FromSoftware, the same developers that brought us the Dark Souls series along with Bloodborne. With that said, Shadows Die Twice is said to have no connection with the Soulsborne world, although it has instead taken heavy inspiration from a previous game FromSoftware have worked on, which is Tenchu, which in a sense makes it a spiritual successor even though it is in its own new world.
私はかつて修羅を見ました。
Shadows Die Twice is set within the Sengoku period of Japan, which takes place during the 1500s. The Sengoku period was a period in Japan's history that was a time of great evil and raging civil war, as the feudal lords of Japan fought for land and power, with many different regions having their own clans, such as one clan known as the Ashina, whom actually have a major role within the story of Shadows Die Twice. Although the game takes place during this period, Sekiro is a game that is not exactly replicating history, as FromSoftware have really added their own touch of darkness to the world as well as light, as we come face to face with all sorts of legendary foes and mythical creatures along our journey throughout From's reimagined Sengoku period of Japan. The one-armed wolf did not always carry the title of Sekiro. Our main protagonist was once protector of a young noble lord who was the last of his line as his personal shinobi warrior, until the shinobi was defeated during one-on-one combat with the leader of the Ashina clan, who kidnapped the shinobi's young master and in the process lost his arm. Disgraced and left for dead, our shinobi hero is saved by Bushi of the Desolate Temple, with the term Bushi also meaning samurai. The man from this temple fixes a ninja prosthetic arm on the shinobi, and somehow the shinobi also gains the ability to cheat death and revive himself after dying in combat as he begins his perilous journey, after vowing to save his young lord back from the Ashina clan and regain his honour. With FromSoftware moving away from the RPG genre for Shadows Die Twice, the gameplay has evolved in this new action adventure in a new way. Leveling up and putting points into certain stats and skills is not what the game will be about. Instead, as we progress through the game's story, we will be able to unlock new skills as we progress through the game that will change or add new styles to the way we play. For instance, Sekiro's prosthetic arm will harbour the potential to switch out the base arm for many different unique weapons that will all have unique attacks, advantages and disadvantages against different enemy types within the world, while having unique combos that each new addition to the arm can bring and aid the katana attacks our protagonist uses in combat. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice supports an aggressive playstyle, although is still very much a beautiful dance of attack and defend, especially against the game's mid-bosses, who are enemies that are tough but not exactly boss level, although they are not your average Joe human enemy either. Shadows Die Twice introduces a new mechanic other than your expected stamina bar, which is a posture bar that will climb its way up every time you block an attack from an enemy. If this bar maxes out, the character will fall flat on his back, being vulnerable to heavy incoming damage. Although if you perfectly time your parries, your posture bar will not be affected and instead increase the enemy's posture bar. If the player manages to max out the enemy's posture bar from a boss to your standard enemy, a special shinobi death blow that does vital damage can be performed, which usually can be used to end a fight in most cases or deplete an enemy health bar. Shinobis are famed for stealth, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice does not forget this. As the one-armed wolf moves through the world, he will be able to crouch through tall grass, lean up and slowly move across walls, hang off ledges and shift past enemies, or simply use the grappling hook the game introduces to travel vertically to new heights across the game world. While these mechanics can be used to sneak past enemies, they can also be used to gain a tactical advantage before initiating combat. The grappling hook can be used during a fight either to hook onto an enemy in sight and close the distance quickly or evade and escape. Before a fight, the hook can take you to a higher positioning, allowing an air attack to fall upon the enemy below, while hanging from a ledge can allow for a ledge attack to enemies walking above, or simply sneaking through the tall grass behind an unsuspecting foe, killing them swiftly. There is also a second katana in Shadows Die Twice, the one seen on the shinobi's back, and its in-game purpose is currently being kept secret, although it has been confirmed that we will be able to use it at some point during the game. With that said, the question remains, what is its purpose? Well, here are some speculative ideas about that. 1. The game could possibly introduce a two-sword fighting style, but with the prosthetic arm feature may be unlikely. Or 2. Both swords may be meant for different enemy types, like that seen in the Witcher series where the steel sword is for human enemies while the silver sword is for all kind of mythical mythical creatures and beasts, with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice having human enemy types as well as mythical creatures and legendary foes. This two-sword gameplay mechanic, one for the ordinary and one for the extraordinary, sound most plausible. Shadows Die Twice seems to take combat 360 degrees above and below, whether we take the fight to the air or sliding into combat from the ground up, approaching an enemy from the front, back or side with combat skills that we will unlock as we progress, as well as potential traversal skills from the prosthetic flame cannon to wall jumping 2 very high walls, as unlocking skills in Shadows Die Twice will unlock new possibilities in its interconnected world, overcoming every passing challenge in new and various ways. Death is inevitable in Shadows Die Twice, as the game has been stated to be much harder than From's previous Soulsborne games, but death is not the end as the game's title suggests, as when you die in Sekiro you have the ability to revive yourself during a fight, with the advantage being enemies lose interest in you the moment you die, so by reviving yourself at the right moment you can either escape or take advantage of the fact that the enemy is not aware that you are back alive. Also, defeating a powerful foe will allow you to regain your second life, and it will be ready to be used once again, although as you progress through the world be sure to stop and pray at sculpture idols, as they will serve as checkpoints within the game world, for times where shadows do not die thrice. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice releases worldwide Friday, March 22nd, 2019 to PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, and is a game I am truly ready to play, as we embark on an adventure of a lifetime with the shinobi known as the One-Armed Wolf. Other than that, I'm played by Vix. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for future Sekiro Shadows Die Twice content. Thank you for watching, take care, and I shall catch you guys in the next one.